Hello everyone and welcome back to another video where today we are back in American Dream. I mean, what else is new at this point? And we of course are going to be building a 1950s area, or at least starting a 1950s area. I really tried to get this done in one video, but it's just too massive. It's way too big. So I have to split it up into two. This video is very long. I don't expect you to watch the whole thing. However, please at least skip to the end so you can see what we did if you're not gonna watch the whole thing. But yeah, it is a very, very long video. It's almost 40 minutes actually. It's like 4 minutes away from being 40 minutes, which is insane to me. I don't think I ever thought I was gonna make a video that long, but here I am. But yeah, so we are building a 1950s themed area. This is mostly inspired by Rockville at Six Flags New England. There's actually a lot of parks that have a a lot of parks in the Northeast that have a 50s themed area. You know, look at Six Flags New England, look at Six Flags Great Escape. There's also a little bit of 1950s architecture at Dorney Park. Same thing, I believe, at Hershey Park, and even Lake Compounds has some 1950s architecture as well. So it is a big northeastern thing to have like a 1950s themed area. I don't necessarily know why. But anyway, we are starting off strong by building a classic 1950s diner, or at least my attempt of building a 1950s diner. You have to understand, I'm not great at building, and this is the best I can do. That's essentially what all of these builds are. This episode is mostly going to be consisting of just building buildings, which is, you know, always fun. But yeah, you have to also keep in mind going forward through the episode that all of these buildings are in a theme park. These are not real. This is not like a real diner. We're going to be building a cinema. It's not supposed to look like a real cinema. It's supposed to look like a cinema inside of a theme park. Here I am kind of just trying to figure out the placement of it. But I end up doing this kind of like conglomerate of buildings in the center here that a pathway will go around. And honestly, I really like how this little thing came out. I also have a super loop that I just try to figure out where to place, but I just can't figure out where to place it. But yeah. So now we're kind of doing like a City Hall inspired building. If you go to Six Flags New England, there is a Rockville City Hall, and that building is like, I don't know, it has like a chicken place in it. I really like the building, like the design of it. I think it looks cool. And I'm trying to do something similar here, but make it a pizza place, and we end up naming it Star Pizza. But what's cool is that this building doesn't even like stay here. I mean, it kind of does. The shape of the building stays here, but I actually move the building over to the other side and end up changing the building that this actually is. I end up making it Bee's Beauty Shop, again inspired by another building at Six Flags New England's Rockville. And although this park is mostly inspired by Six Flags Great Escape, I mean, I think that's pretty clear. I think the 50s area at Six Flags New England is just done so much better. It looks so much more well designed, well thought out. The 1950s area at Great Escape, which is called Hot Rod USA, is kind of squeezed in. It doesn't really feel like it was meant to be a 50s area. It's kind of just like an afterthought. Although there are definitely elements from both 50s areas here. But here it is, Star Pizza. Very, very simple sign. I just like using the star because it's in a nice, easy shape that you can scale, and you know the star can work for so many different things. Here we are just placing some windows, adding some details, and then we're going to get started on our next building, which again is inspired by another building at Six Flags New England, and this is going to actually be a drugstore. The whole idea of this 1950s area is that it is a town that takes place in the 1950s, and I think honestly it turns out really, really well. All of the buildings look super, super good. They look super clean, sleek, but they have this really awesome flair to it. And I mean, I'm really happy with how everything came out. I'm just kind of filling in the back of the diner so it doesn't look like there's multiple buildings kind of like attached. I mean, there clearly is, but in theory, this would just be one big building. But yeah, putting on the counter now. Very, 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 very simple design. I don't even do much of an interior. I just place down some of the shop table things. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm saying. It's 11:41 in the morning, and I just woke up. So, I mean, I don't have an excuse, but that's my excuse. That's what I'm using. So yeah. Here we are, just kind of making the general layout of the path. I kind of wanted like a little sidewalk kind of going on. It's not the most perfect sidewalk, but I think it works. And yeah. Talking about last video, it blew up. Like, I mean, I say blow up. It had like 1,000 or so views. It had like 1,000, maybe 1,300 views. But it did a lot, and I think it's funny because at the end of that video, the end of the kitty coaster video, I said, I don't think this is going to do very well. And you know what? It did. It did a lot better than I thought it was going to do, and I'm actually very happy that it did that. Which I think is just, you know, I think that's so funny. But thank you guys so much for the support. All the comments were super positive. There was people that, you know, were telling me all about the Alan Herschel kitty coaster, and also people saying that I should put a Eurofighter in this park. Here we are, just doing the quick drugstore sign. I always like forget to talk about what's going on screen. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we're doing the drugstore sign. But yeah, I don't think I'll do a Eurofighter in this park, sadly. I do think it would fit in terms of like the budget, and maybe it'd be like the most modern coaster. But I'm actually thinking the biggest coaster in the park is going to end up being a Mock Rides family, or not family, or like a family thrill launch coaster, maybe. Something similar to, like, I would say like Manta, SeaWorld San Diego, I think. Just like the small scale mock coasters, I think are pretty cool. Actually, no, honestly, it'd be more similar to Icon at Blackpool. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I just blanked on that. Anyway, here we are making a little park area because there was this weird gap between like the sidewalk and the actual like pathway. So I wanted to just like make it like a weird little park area, and you know, since this is supposed to be like a 1950s town, I end up calling this the Jukebox Junction Town Park. And that's the first time I think you're hearing the name. The area is going to be called Jukebox Junction. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's a little too on the nose with the 1950s reference, I guess. But I mean, hey, I think it works. Like, I don't know. Hot Rod USA is the area at Six Flags Great Escape, and then Six Flags New England has Rockville, and also like Fiesta Texas down in Texas. I know that's not anything what we're trying to build, but that they also have a Rockville. So like, I don't know. I can't name it Rockville, even though Rockville I think is the most perfect, you know, like 1950s town name. It works so well. But I think Jukebox Junction actually works very, very good in the end, and I do make a custom sign for it, which you are seeing on screen right now. It is inspired by another 1950s sign. I was trying to just make like a weird shape in the beginning, and then here I am looking up a 1950s sign to try to emulate a little bit, and then that's what we end up doing. And honestly, it comes out really nice. I wish there was more fonts in the game, because now that I'm starting to make more and more signs, it kind of feels like the fonts are just staying the same, and every sign is starting to look a little similar. Because of the fact that because of the fact that the fonts are exactly the same. I really hope in future DLCs or future updates, especially some of the free updates that Frontier's talking about going forward, I really hope that we get more fonts. Here I am using the gutter pieces. Oh my god, I love the gutter pieces so much. I use the gutter pieces again when we do the cinema, and man, I'm so happy with how the gutter pieces actually look. And they make these really, really thin lines that are so like little details. I absolutely love it. And then of course I'm just making the junction part of the Jukebox Junction sign, making it a little bit of a different font. Try to just, I don't know, make it feel different, add some flair to it. I don't know. And I think it works. I think it looks good. And then we just make these little lines on the side blue. Again, trying to add some color, you know, make it look different. And of course, we're kind of just finishing off the sign. I wanted to do kind of like a rounded off top, but it just, I don't know, I couldn't make the pieces small enough. I'm sure if I tried hard, I could have gotten it, but I don't know. I just ended up going with that. I think it looks fine. And then, of course, on top, we're going to go with the established in 1952, because we don't want just to be 1950. This is like this is, I don't know why 1952 actually. I'm gonna try to explain myself, but I really can't. But yeah, and then at the bottom here, I take an exact rip from Six Flags New England's Rockville sign. When you enter into Rockville, they have a sign that says, "Welcome to Rockville, a great place to work and live," or live and work, whatever, one of the two. Or work and live is fine. Yeah, so I end up just taking a rip from them, and I think it looks great, actually. I think the sign came out very, very nice. It's very 1950s-esque, and we just put it right here at the entry to the land. I'm actually realizing now I didn't put the foliage there in front, which that kind of sucks. I should have probably done that. But I mean, I can always fix that later. I don't need to do that on camera. But in this video, you're not going to see like foliage underneath the sign. It's just going to be like a dirt patch. So I hope you're okay with that. Here I am making a road, putting in the road markers. I just use curbs like everyone did in Planet Coaster 1 for making roads. It's, it works. I think it looks fine. It's nothing crazy. Honestly, I wish there was like a path paint tool, maybe. Like you could paint stuff on the path. I think that'd be kind of cool. That's asking for a lot, though. Here we are just making a little crosswalk. Nothing too insane. This is all, again, within the budget of this park. This park wouldn't be building a realistic town. They would kind of just have like an asphalt path that, they would paint 2 yellow lines on, if that makes sense, So it's nothing too crazy. Here we are, just making a little bit of a curve to it. Just checking to make sure everything's on ground level, because it's kind of weird if like the lines are sticking up out of the ground. And then here is actually a pretty cool build, making a telephone line or telephone pole. And honestly, I think it comes out fine. There's no good cable pieces. If you look at these things in real life, I mean, they're everywhere. They're not just like a Northeastern thing. Like, they don't have straight cables. They have like these long swooping cables, and the ropes kind of work. However, they don't adjust the color, and I don't want brown cable lines, especially ones that are that thick. So I end up just using the actual cables, and they just go completely straight. I didn't try to make them curve because I feel like if I did, it would just look boxy, and it would have like these weird angles to it, and I would think it would look more unrealistic. But there we go. I place it right there, and I think it looks fine in the area. Again, very, very cheap to do. It would just have some cables and some wooden rope. Here we are building a boxy traffic light. This is my horrible, horrible attempt at a traffic light. I am so sorry. I apologize greatly for this traffic light, but you are going to see it in this video multiple times, and there's nothing that you can do about it because it's my park and my park. My builds, and you can't change that. I don't know what I'm saying. Please just keep watching. So here we go. Now we're building my favorite build that I ended up doing here, and this of course is the cinema. This is the Field Cinema, named after the park's founder, James Fields, which I'm realizing now that I don't have that many references to him in this park, and I feel like I should. I feel like I should have a lot more references to him, because Six Flags Great Escape has some good references to Charlie Wood, who is their park founder, and that's the whole idea, is that he founded this park, James Fields, and yeah, I need more James Fields references. That's long story short. I need more James Fields references. But yeah, so we're building a pretty basic cinema building. I think it comes out really well, actually. Again, you have to remember, this is not meant to be a cinema building. This is meant to be a cinema facade that an amusement park with the budget of American Dream, which isn't the greatest budget, would have built. So it is not like a full building. It has a facade. It's going to have, these supports holding it up in the back. It's not going to be like a full cinema building, and that's the idea that I'm going for. Especially because, do you really think a cinema would be like squeezed in here behind the pirate ship? No, I don't think so. So, especially like if you're thinking of like that, no, of course it's not a real cinema. But this, of course, is inspired by the Rockville Cinema located at Six Flags New England. They have a very similar style of building where it's kind of just this big facade on the front, and then on the back is really nothing. It's just a storage building. Here it would simply just be a facade, you know. And of course, if you look at the Rockville Cinema from the back, it kind of has these like supports going down it. It's held up. It's a very thin like top. It's maybe not as exaggerated as this, but it's like a very thin wall that holds up like the facade. And it basically kind of looks like this. So, but here we are making like the little part that sticks out that would have like the movie playing on it. I actually don't write anything on it, which kind of sucks. I will in the future. I will. Give me some suggestions what I should write on the the cinema sign here. But I mean, hey, I think it looks fine without anything there, but I think I should, because it's a very, very easy thing to do, and I should just put some stuff there. The inside of it, we end up filling up with some games, just like at Six Flags New England. They have all their facades in Rockville filled up with games and food. None of them are like actually functioning buildings. Again, it's all just one big themed facade. And I like that idea, actually. I like it a lot. Here we are just putting in the basic cinema sign. I like the way that the shaping of this sign works. I think it works very, very well for a cinema sign, and then I just put Fields on top to make it the Fields Cinema. And honestly, I think it just looks really, really nice. It came out really awesome. I like the red in contrast to the blue and tan building. And man, I just really, really, really like it. Honestly, the color palette reminds me more of like the actual entry sign to Jukebox Junction. I struggle saying jukebox. This is my third attempt recording this video, because in the first like minute of the last ones I have stuttered so bad, and I've said jukebox, like as in the musician. I've said jukebox, and I don't know why, but if I mess up within like the first minute 30 of me recording, I start over. Usually these are one take though. But yeah, I mean, I hope you can realize they're one take. The amount of times I say or I stutter, I hope you guys know that this is one take, and I'm not a good YouTuber. So yeah, here we are building another building. This one would be a little bit more of a complete building, but it's a very, very small building compared to the cinema. This is going to be Harry's hardware store, again inspired by Six Flags New England. But this one I think is actually, it looks better than the one at Six Flags New England, to be honest, and it comes out really well. I don't think the game inside that you'll see all the games later, that comes a little bit later, but the game that I put inside of it I don't really think is that realistic, mainly due to the fact that it's like one singular. I mean, you'll see it when we do it, so I guess I won't talk about it, but it's just like it's a very small game, and I just don't think they would, like, the park would have that. But I mean, who knows? I don't know. But I mean, I think it looks fine, so I'm not gonna change it. But yeah, and I actually do end up making my own midway games, which I think is good. I've always wanted to try to do something similar to that, or something like that, just because of the fact, like, I don't know, I feel like taking stuff off the workshop is just, you know, in theory it's really good, but it kind of takes all the fun out of it. I really wanted to try to build my own, mainly just because I think it works out so much better. And plus, I can now use some of these games. I saved them as blueprints. They're very, very, very simple games. If you think I'm making good games, I'm not. In fact, the ones off the workshop are probably better. I just wanted to make my own, try my hand at it, but I can use them in parks going forward, because I'm sure this is not going to be the final project. I'm sure as soon as this is over, which honestly we're coming to the end of it, after the 50s area we're going to be doing a western area, and then that is pretty much going to be the entirety of the build. Later on in the video, I'm now just realizing there is going to be a car. There's going to be a red car, and I will put the creator of that car in the description of this video. I completely forgot that car was in the build, and I'm now seeing it in the background of us building the train station. Oh yeah, by the way, we're building the train station. So if you want that car, please go check out the description for the car information, so you can get it on the workshop. But yeah, building a very, very basic train station. This one is inspired by the Storytown train at Six Flags Great Escape, and it's inspired by their train station. I do think this train station looks really nice though, with the way the angles are on the supports and everything. I think it comes out really nice, and we end up naming the train the American Dream Railway. So nothing crazy. It's a very, very basic name, but I think it's very, very classic, and the sign that we make for it comes out extremely nice. It looks super classic, super Americana. I really, really like it. We are 20 minutes in now, and I think I asked on a couple videos ago if people are still 20 minutes in. If people are here 20 minutes in, and a lot of people commented they were there, 20 minutes in. So you know what? Shout out to you guys. I greatly appreciate you. Seriously, all the support on the videos has been really awesome so far. I'm very, very grateful that I can just not upload on this channel at all, and that I can come back and upload a completely different kind of content. This is completely different than what I was doing before. And I can still have a very similar amount of support, which I really appreciate. If not more, I've gained way more subscribers doing Planet Coaster than I have doing anything else on this channel. So I mean, hey, I'll take what I can get. But yeah, the park has been coming along great. Here we are moving the Star Pizza like I talked about in the beginning. We move it over here. I also kind of adjust the telephone pole just a little bit, making it stretch a wider distance. And I wanted to change this building because I felt like having a brick building over here was just so I don't know, it was so uncolorful, and I wanted to have more variation in it. And there was a building at Six Flags New England called Betty's Beauty Shop, and it's so colorful. It has this checkered pattern, and it has a woman on it too, which shows off the bob haircut back then, or a curled bob haircut. And here's me staring at my phone. But I liked it because it added more color to the area, and I really wanted to do that. So I end up making this very, very simple checkered pattern on the front of the building here. And I think it turns out really, really nice, actually. I think it comes out really, really nice. And we end up calling this Bee's Beauty Shop. So not Betty's Beauty Shop. I also thought of doing Birdie's Beauty Shop. I don't know why, but yeah, I thought about doing Birdie's Beauty Shop. I obviously decided against it and just called it Bees, but I mean, maybe that's short for Birdie. I don't know, but I mean, it comes out really nice in the end. I don't think I make the sign on camera. I actually do a lot of stuff off camera. Here I am making the games. I did make the game in a separate building because I just thought I was gonna have these temporary looking buildings at first, but I just decided against it because I wanted to go the extra mile, make the more interesting cinema buildings and the hardware building, and I think it came out really, really nice. Here we are at the ball game, Knock 'em Down. I think I just end up getting rid of that, yeah. And we do call the game Knock 'em Down though, because you knock down the blocks, and that's what I mean. It's one thing of 3 blocks. That's so unrealistic, but I mean, I think it looks fine, so I'm gonna keep it. And then over here, I wanted to make a water squirting game where you shoot the gun at the target. Very, very basic. What I like about Planet Coaster 2 is that we have these the pool inflatables, and that's what I end up using as prizes. You have the big unicorn, and the big donut, and the big popsicle, and I feel those are really realistic prizes that a park would sell, because even Six Flags parks, they sell Marvel merchandise sometimes, which for as prizes, not as they don't sell Marvel merchandise, but you can win a Thanos plushie, if you swing the hammer hard enough, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, here's my attempt at making guns. I think they came out fine. They're nothing special. They look okay. They're very, very blocky, very, very chunky, but I mean, hey, I think in the end it comes out okay. So yeah, I don't know what I was talking about, but yeah, I did a lot of stuff off camera because I started to realize this is getting very, very long, and I don't want to keep adding to the time lapse. Again, this is almost a 40-minute video, which is insane for me. I have never made a video that long. This is the longest video in the series. I'm hoping it will continue to be the longest video in the series. I don't want to do one of these again. It's a drag for me to just talk for 40 minutes straight. Especially a lot of the times I don't even know what I'm talking about because these are all free script videos. And yeah, I don't know. You can tell a lot. I forget what I'm going to say or don't know what to say. Here I am making like a little bucket ball game. You might have seen these, like the buckets are at an angle and then you toss the ball into the bucket and you try to get it to stay in there without bouncing out. And I just, it's a very, very simple game to make actually, making the buckets out of some art shapes, putting the balls there, again, just some art shapes. And I think it works out well in the end. Now it's time to do the queue line for the American Dream Railroad. Very, very basic queue. I do custom fencing, nothing too crazy. All the foliage in the area is going to be just some basic light foliage. Again, you'll see that after the time lapse is over in the real-time portion. But I think we do the queue line here, and then we do one more thing, which is just make a bathroom, because I realized the last bathroom that I built was all the way back in episode 3. This is episode 9. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, we're on episode 9, guys. This is like becoming like an actual series. I don't know how many episodes we're gonna have left, to be honest with you. I think we're probably gonna be doing maybe like 12 episodes in total. I think we'll have like 12 episodes, or maybe like 14. I'm definitely not ending on an odd number. So I'm so against that. Maybe that's just me though. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do probably only just like a couple more episodes. I mean, like a little handful left. So again, we're only having pretty much after this 50s area done. After this 50s area is done. After I stuttered really, really hard, we're gonna essentially just do a very, very generic Western area, and then we're gonna be calling it a day. So yeah, and then the park will be available for everyone on the workshop. I hope it gets a lot of downloads because, having like a whole series based around it, every workshop thing that I upload, I don't really get that many downloads on it. But, maybe after, having a whole YouTube series on it, I can actually get on the front page of the workshop. I'm just kidding. That's so unrealistic. That's not going to happen. But yeah, here we are making a very, very basic building for bathrooms. Because all these peeps need a place to go to the bathroom. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway. But yeah, it's a very, very, very basic building. It is a little bit more unique, though, because it's kind of like at an angle. And so I try to make it seem a little bit more. And then you'll see that, like, after I build the building, I'm just like, that's not big enough to be a bathroom. And I don't think the building I actually end up building is still big enough to be a bathroom. But in my head, I think it's big enough to be a bathroom. So, yeah. But yeah, it's like a pretty generic building. Again, you'll see in a little bit, we just have a little extension on the back, making it look a little bit bigger. And then that's pretty much the entirety of the building. I'm kind of just putting this, the art shapes on the edge here, just making the edge of it look a little bit more, I don't know, finished, not like as rough. And then that's all I do though. It's actually, I don't like the look of it, but it's whatever. And so, yeah. I do like a little fence here that, can access the danger zone for the train. And then I build like the little back area. You pass right by it on the train, which I think is kind of funny. I should decorate it a little bit more. But I'm going to finish up this building, and I will see you guys in the real-time portion of the video. So we are now in the real-time portion, and welcome to Jukebox Junction, a great place to work and live. I think the whole area is starting to come out really, really nice. It's very, very open, which is different than like the rest of the park. The rest of the park feels, very, very like compact with all the trees and everything. Here we go. Let's start off with the Jukebox Junction Town Park. It's a very, very basic, just, squared off grass area with a tree in the center and some benches. Nothing special here, but it's very, very basic. Here I have some overgrown plants on the side of where the coaster is. And then, yeah, that's pretty much like the entirety of this area. It kind of just leads around to the bathroom, which I finished off with a nice little restroom sign and an overhead. I have like the nice curve going here. It definitely looks boxy, but I mean, from afar, I think it looks okay. I think the bathroom came out really nice in the end. And then, of course, we have our fence here leading into the danger zone for the fence. And I mean, look at that sign. I think it came out really awesome. Dr. Von Schnaut's drugstore. That's what we named it, Dr. Von Schnaut. I don't know why, but it sounds funny and sounds cool, so that's what we went with. And it's a very, very basic building, but I think it came out nice. Let's come around here on the edge of the diner. Let's head back out front. But yeah, that's pretty much the entirety of the area. It doesn't really lead to anything, but it's very, very basic. Coming over here, let's start off with the diner and look it down the road. I love that. That's awesome. That looks fantastic. I'm so happy. Like, look at that view. It looks like an actual like 1950s town street. I'm very, very happy with how that came out. But over here at the diner, we do have no interior, as you can see. But we have the counters of a Chief Beef hot dog squad and a gelato store because, you know, this place would probably serve ice cream and everything. Here's the behind the counter view if you're an employee. But yeah, it's a very basic diner building. I think it came out nice. Bee's Beauty Shop. I think this came out really awesome too. Same thing with the prizes over there. We just have the donuts and stuff. I don't know how realistic this game is. Oh, I can kind of come in here. I don't know how realistic the game actually is, but we do have the prizes up there. And I think, honestly, they make great prizes. Like, they look really, really good. I'm happy with how, like, the inflatables look for prizes. So, but they're very, very colorful, and they're different enough where they kind of make it look like more than was actually there. Here's my boxy traffic light that I copy and pasted twice. Very, very ugly. I'm not happy with it, but I mean, that's like the best it's gonna get. Honestly, I could probably get one better off the workshop, so you know what, I'll have to see. Harry's Hardware. This is, you know, a very basic building again. Have the $5 for 3 balls. Have the prizes in there. I think the building came out really nice. It works very, very, very well. Yeah, it came out really good. I don't like that though. That's, gosh. I hate like the overlapping, and then it just like it zigs in and out. Then coming over here to the Fields Cinema. I absolutely love how the building looks. It came out super nice. Again, it looks like a facade. It doesn't look like a cinema. It looks like a cinema facade, and that's exactly what I want it to be. My Windows security is going off, so that's great. Here are the prizes and everything. I think it looks awesome. But yeah, I mean, with like the water guns and everything, honestly, realistically, there would probably be like stools here, but you know, I don't have time for that. Star Pizza, very, very basic building. Kind of looks unfinished, to be honest with you. I should probably do some more details on it, or put it like a bench in front of it or something. But I think it came out fine. And look at I think, oh my god, it just looks so like a theme park Main Street. And this guy, he was in episode 7 over at American Thunder. What is his problem? What is he cheering for? All right, he's going in the park. Okay, man. I don't know. I don't like that. That was weird. I don't have anyone hired, so I don't know how he's there. Anyway, this car. The creator is in the description of the video. Please go check out the code and, you know, check out this car. It isn't like a perfect hot rod, but it is very, very good, and it's definitely better than anything I can do out of Art Shapes. I think it looks really, really awesome. So shout out to whoever made this. Again, in the description, please. I am so sorry. I should have known the name. Anyway. Moving on to the American Dream Railroad. As you can see here, the train is coming in extremely fast and stops extremely fast. I need to change that speed, but I love the sign. I think it came out so good. Going into the queue line, it's a very, very basic like wooden fence, custom fencing. It looks fantastic. Maybe like this was like, I don't know the story behind it, but I mean, I think it looks great. It definitely feels a little bit separated from the 1950s area, but so does the Storytown train at Six Flags Great Escape. That also feels separated, and that's also in the 1950s area. So, I mean, hey, it's not like this is unrealistic. I absolutely love it. Coming over here, we have our crosswalk, making it just feel a little bit more realistic. And then we are going to continue next episode by coming over here and building the boomerang and as well as the super loop. That's going to be the continuation of the 1950s area. You're going to cross the train tracks here. And yeah, I absolutely love it. There's our kitty kiss we built in the last episode, and here comes the train. It passes underneath the boomerang, which is a really cool view. I want to give like a little nighttime view real quick, just to kind of show like what I did for the lighting. Nothing too crazy. We just have some basic street lights, and then I lit up the inside of the games with some yellow lighting because I feel like that's usually what the games are lit up with. Star Pizza could also use some more lighting, honestly. It looks very, very dark. But yeah, I really like how it came out. I should do a little bit more of an interior maybe for the water squirting game, the water gun game. But I mean, hey, I think overall, the entirety of the buildings came out really nice. It's very, very dimly lit in the back area too, which I think is, pretty realistic. They wouldn't light that up very well. But yeah, it's very, very light lighting, nothing crazy. And yeah. So that's pretty much going to be the entirety of the video. That is the first half of Jukebox Junction. I hope you guys enjoyed. The support on the last video was insane, so I mean, if this video can even do anything remotely close to that, I'll be more than happy. But yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure you like and subscribe for more Planet Coaster content. And American Dream episode 9 I can't believe this is episode 9. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.